We're going to have some. Good afternoon. How's everyone doing? I'd like to welcome everyone to the Tarrant County College District June 17th meeting. Prior to calling the meeting to order, I'd like to read this. On March 13, 2020, Governor Greg Abbott issued a declaration of emergency as a result of the COVID-19 virus outbreak. Subsequently, on March 16, 2020, pursuant to the authority granted in the declaration, Governor Abbott temporarily suspended the application of certain provisions of the Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551, in order to permit telephonic open meetings. This was an effort to mitigate the spread of the COVID-19 virus by avoiding large group meetings while still ensuring continued governmental operations and preserving transparency in the decision-making process. Pursuant to this authority, Tarrant County College District gave notice of its intent to conduct today's meeting as a telephonic and video conference open meeting. 5 trustees will participate in person for this meeting: myself, Teresa Ayala, Mr. Kenneth Barr, Mr. Bill Greenhill, Mr. Leonard Hornsby, and Ms. Jeannie DeKine. Dr. Gwendolyn Morris and Ms. Shannon Wood will participate via video conference or telephonically. Okay, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Do we have any public comments, Mr. Gates? Okay, thank you. All right, we'll go ahead and go into the approval of the minutes. We'll go into the board business items and announcements first. So we have, the first item is 3A, TCC Foundation Board Appointment. With the board appointment for the foundation, does anyone have any nominations for that?
Madam President, yes. I'd like to nominate Teresa Ayala
okay.
to occupy the position for the TCC Foundation Board appointment.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Will you do
anyone else?
Yes. I'll second it.
Okay. Thank you. All right. We have a motion and a second. Can I get ayes and noes, and let's go ahead and vote?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Any noes? Dr. Morrison and Ms. Wood, did you hear okay? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And Dr. Morrison, did we get Dr. Morrison as well?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
Ms. Ayala, before we go on to audit and finance, I just for everyone's reference, the foundation board bylaws call for 2 of the college's trustees to sit on the board, and Mr. Barr is the other trustee that sits on the board.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much for that, Chancellor. Okay, we also have item 3B, Audit and Finance Committee appointment. We'll take nominations for those and we'll vote on those individually. The Audit and Finance Committee will serve as a committee of the board with the Audit and Finance. So we'll take nominations from the ties here. Okay.
There are 3.
There are 3. Okay. That's correct. And we'll vote on each one individually.
Madam President?
Yes.
I'd like to nominate Mr. Hornsby.
Okay. Mr. Hornsby?
Second.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Okay. Let's go ahead and vote. We have a motion to second. Any discussion? No?
I move that we elect him by acclamation.
Okay.
Second.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. We'll move on to, we need another recommendation, please,
Madam
or nomination.
President, I'd like to nominate Mr. Greenhill.
Okay. We'll take Mr. Greenhill. Okay. A motion and
second.
Second. Okay. Second by Mr. Kine.
I move that we do by acclamation unless Gwen wants to say that.
I was going to, Bill.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay.
See you. Okay.
Great. Okay. Well, motion by acclamation. Okay.
Yes.
I would like to nominate the third person, Dr. Gwendolyn Morris, please. I have a second.
I second.
Okay. We have a second.
Acclamation.
Okay.
By acclamation.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. And we have a second. Okay. Any questions, discussions? All right. Let's go on to 3C, approval of special meeting of the Board of Trustees on May 12, 2021. Do we have any comments, questions?
I had no corrections. I would move approval.
Okay, we have a motion by Dr. Morrison,
Second.
second by Mr. Hornsby. Okay, any questions, discussions?
Aye.
Okay, we'll go ahead and vote. Aye. Any nays? No. Okay, motion passes. Let's go ahead and move on to 3D. We have approval of work session meeting minutes, May 13th, 2020. Do we have any questions, discussions, comments? Okay, can I get a motion for approval?
So moved.
So moved, Mr. Greenhill. Second,
Second.
Mr. Hornsby. Okay. Any questions or discussions? Okay. We'll go ahead. Do I have any ayes and noes? And let's go ahead and, any questions? Nope. Okay.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So we have a motion to second it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Any opposed? Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. We'll move on to 3E, as in, let's see, approval of Board of Trustees meeting minutes from May the 20th, 2021. Any questions, comments, or discussions? Okay. The chair will entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
And was that Dr. Morrison?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Dr. Morrison, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, we'll move on to, let's see, Trustee Activities. We'll start over here at the end of the table. Mr. Kine, do you have anything you'd like to report?
Nothing to report.
Okay. Mr. Greenhill?
Yes, I would like, would like to make a report about a annual meeting of the Community College Association. Save the date for September the 16th through the 18th for trustees of our board. The Community College Association of Texas Trustees and the Success Center of the TACC, the Texas Association of Community Colleges, will jointly host the CCATT annual conference with BOTI, which is planned for 3 days and 2 nights at the Westin Hotel at the Domain in Austin on September 16th through the 18th. As with previous meetings of the BOTI, the Board of Trustees Institute, which is run by the Success Center, it used to be held in Santa Fe or somewhere else, and they have a group of people who sponsor their events, and so we're joining together this year, and they will pay for the registration and the fees and so forth for 2 trustees and the CEO, Dr. Giovannini, to go to this meeting. And then as part of our educational, what we get for our educational bonuses is to go, the TCCD will pay for others to go. And I'd like to encourage all of us to go to Austin, to go to these things, to go to this organization. There will be breakout sessions of particular interest. For example, actions of an effective board by Drs. Byrne and K. McClenny. Dr. McClenny has been training trustees for many years at the Board of Trustees Institute. He's an amazing speaker and trainer. I'm not trainer, but someone who we talks about best practices, gets people together to have a consensus on what best practices are, and all kinds of ideas that we've brought home. He's worked with many community colleges. There's another subject, student-centered governance by the Success Center. Then there's the trustee role in accreditation, a self-evaluation by Dr. Bell, Whelan, president of SAC, and this is something that we're going to be doing next year or next couple of years. That the Chancellor mentioned at the last meeting. Our accreditation progress system is a very complicated one, and I think Dr. Bell will have a really good talk on that. Building Healthy and Thriving Texas by Dr. Wayne Whistler, President and CEO of the Temple Foundation, and others. Presentations from the Aspen Prize winners, increasing enrollment through guided pathways, strengthening rural colleges, which is a kind of a hot subject, by Dr. G. Hang Lee, Senior Vice President of the ACCT. This is a good opportunity not only for education, but it's also a great opportunity to meet trustees literally in regions from all over the state. I mean, I'm telling you, all over the state. The El Paso trustee on the board that I'm on told us that every trustee from El Paso Community College is going to be there. So it's a good opportunity to meet people and learn what other people are doing. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Greenhill. Mr. Barr, do you have anything you'd like to report? Okay, Mr. Hornsby? No. Okay, thank you. Ms. Wood?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have anything you'd like to report for trustee activities?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Dr. Morrison?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Happy to greet you on this day that there has been so much jubilation in so many places. And I want to say that I did participate today in the post-legislative session that CCATT put on. It was very informative, and we still have a lot of challenges with funding. I'm happy to say I don't think that we at TCC are threatened, but I think we have to remain vigilant and involved in that overall state process and keep our legislators aware of where we are and exactly what we need. So thank you, Mr. Greenhill, for your leadership on that.
Thank you for participating. It's really good information. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Also, I had the joy of participating with the Northeast Campus this year. Well, let me stop and say that I want to thank the Chancellor and all of his staff for your diligence in putting forth the necessary work to do an excellent job of student engagement, student involvement, and for addressing the community and all of their relevant activities. I was aware of some activities that you did for Cinco de Mayo and some other things recently, and I accepted the invitation of the Juneteenth committee, the TCC Juneteenth committee, to participate in presenting an award to the grandmother of Juneteenth. So, yes, Tuesday, we were on the call doing the runner show. And while we were on that call, Miss Lee was on screen, or her granddaughter was on screen. And she got a call from DC saying that the Senate had passed the bill. Of course, she was jubilant. So last night, we were on the actual call. And this is a picture from last night. She got a call from the White House saying that the House had passed the bill. So you can see her amazement. She was so excited to tell us about that. And so everybody that was on the call got to witness that history. And if you've been near a television today, you already know she was there at the White House today for the signing of the bill. And it was quite extraordinary. So I was pleased to participate with that. And I will tell you that was an excellent program that Student Services had planned. The music was excellent. And the art that the students had contributed as a part of their contest, where they were eligible to win money that goes to their tuition, it was phenomenal. So it was really an outstanding program. I hope you'll go onto the website and view it because it was wonderful. We have such talented faculty, staff, and students. I'm always proud to say that I'm a part of TCC. So it's been a great week for me. So excited to share in history making. Thank you, and thanks for this celebration. And really, TCC was a part of history because we were there to experience with her. And the news cameras were there at her home while we were live on the celebration last night. And we presented her, TCC presented her with the Legacy of Juneteenth Award. This is the first year it's been given, and we couldn't have picked better timing. So thank you all very much. And thanks to that committee who put this together, but also who allowed me to participate and be a part of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Morrison. That was, we were so happy for Ms. Lee, and thank you for presenting her with that award. TCC participated in a similar event it was hosted by the Arlington Black Chamber at the Globe Life Park to celebrate Juneteenth, or the Freedom Day. And the theme for the 5th annual event was Still Breaking the Chains of Our Past, Free-ish. TCC was well represented. We had Nita Halliburton, who's a CTE advisor at Southeast Campus, and she serves as the chairwoman of the chamber. And she shared a detailed story of the significance of Juneteenth and how we can each dedicate ourselves to living with purpose. Our own Dr. Michael Evans, a former trustee and now mayor of Mansfield, he also delivered a moving address of hope and a call to action to the sold-out crowd. It was an incredibly spirited celebration of community hope and fellowship. So I want to thank Chancellor Giovannini, the campus presidents that attended, and other TCC leaders for supporting this event. It was a lot of fun, and it was great that we were able to be a part of it. And we continue to nurture the goals of our college and serving the community. So thank you, Chancellor, for that. Okay, any others? All right. We'll go ahead and go on to the agenda of the consent agenda. The consideration of the consent agenda does not require for each item to be read. However, we want the public to know that we conduct a work session the week prior to the regular board meeting and discuss in great detail each item of the consent agenda. So while it might appear that we might go through these items with a single vote, we've had in-depth presentations and conversations on each item from the administration. So I'll now entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. I believe there were some proposed amendments to those. So if everyone has had an opportunity to look at those, I think what we would entertain is a motion to approve them as revised by staff. Do we have any questions or comments at this point? No? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I move approval with the modifications provided by staff.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Barr. We have a motion and a second.
Second.
Okay, that's second by Ms. DeKine. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Say nay. Okay, the motion's carried. All right. We'll go on to, bear with me, 5A, and that's consideration and approval of individual action items. This is in consideration and approval of contract with multiple firms for professional qualified practitioners, learning organizations for training to the business community for 2 years with 3 one-year options to renew up to an annual amount of $1 million.
So I am not Shannon
I was
Bryant.
like, wait a minute.
She isn't available this evening because she's at Leader Prime, which is great for her to be participating in the community. However, we covered this last week that these are the firms that she's engaging to conduct specialized training for business partners in the community in a fee-based manner. So it gives her an opportunity to have an array of firms to meet those needs.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Valanese. Any questions or comments or questions? No discussion? All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I move approval.
Okay, Mr. Barr moves for approval. A second?
A second.
A second by Mr. Hornsby. Okay, all in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. We have item 5B. I believe that there was also a revision to this as well. It's consideration and approval of contract with U.S. Aviation Group for pilot flight training for a professional pilot program for 3 years. in the amount of $2 million. Okay, Dr. Blankenbaker.
Thank you, President Ayala, members of the Board of Trustees. This is a request for approval as amended by staff for a 3-year contract with U.S. Aviation Group. And this is to provide flight instruction in the professional pilot program as part of their certification.
Okay, and these fees, and the student fees and the programming, whoever the sponsors are, that will offset the cost. Is that correct?
So the student fees are made available to students up front. Mm-hmm. So they are published on the college's website and given to students when they participate in the orientation. Okay. So they know up front what the fees are. Okay. And so these fees are borne by the students themselves. Okay. And by far and large, we still continue to be the most affordable flight program as a public community college.
Great, thank you. All right, any questions, discussion? Okay, we'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve.
Move to approve by Mr. Greenhill. A second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Barr. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Thank you. All right, 5C, consideration of contract with Prestige Elevator Company for elevator maintenance and repair services for an initial 26-month term in the amount of $304,772 and total 5 years and 2 months amount of $726,764.
Yeah, so as we discussed last week, we previously had used a cooperative agreement to provide elevator service across the district. We tailored a request for proposals to meet our needs more specifically, and we're able to reduce our cost as a result of that. And so this is a recommended agreement for that purpose. One thing I'll point out is that based on questions that we received last week, we included a revised bid tabulation that includes additional information about the composite score that was provided in decided upon by the evaluating committee, as well as information about the weighting of the different criteria for best value.
Thank you. Any questions or comments, discussion? Okay, we'll entertain a motion. You do. Yes, go ahead, Mr. Kine.
Thank you very much for including the revised documentation to show us kind of a template moving forward. I think that was very helpful for us.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Thank you, Mr. Kine. Okay, well, we'll entertain a motion.
Move for approval.
Okay, Mr. Greenhill and
Second.
Mr. Barr seconds. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Consideration through 5D, consideration and approval of an amendment to the contract with Beck Architecture for the district-wide wayfinding and signage in the amount of $561,580.40.
Yeah, so Beck Architecture was engaged last year to commence a project for wayfinding analysis and study across the district. I think, as we've talked about, we're all frustrated with that across the college, and it's a real opportunity with the redevelopment of the institution to address that differently. This engagement includes everything all the way up until we would enter into a construction management project for signage that would be installed across the district. It will provide us guidance on naming conventions and some guidance on digital aspects of that, as well as what the architectural features would be for signage and how that would be applied consistently. So this continues those phases all the way up until we will come back to you with a proposal related to construction out of the bond program.
Thank you, Ms. Alanis. Do we have any questions, comments, discussion? Okay.
I have a comment, since this may never come back to us again.
Yes, Dr.
Is that one of the concerns is, like, the address of South Campus is 5301 Campus Drive, but that doesn't help a lot of people get to where they need to go on the campus. So I would ask that in the study of this, not only for South, but other campuses, that there be internal addresses that help people get directions from their phone or devices, or so that they can get written instructions that direct them to different locations by either, some means, parking lots, other streets, and et cetera. So
the intent through this project, as well as the digital roadmap, will eventually be to have an app that people can use on their phone and get live instructions, just like we get with Google Maps when you're on the roadway. So the goal is to provide a much more robust way for people to be able to navigate our campuses.
And just to let everyone know that if there is a traffic jam at downtown and we need to go here to the South Campus, that Trustee Morrison has an excellent way of getting to the South Campus down Vickery. She saved a lot of us we had to get to the South Campus in a hurry. And she said, well, just go down Vickery and follow the lines. But anyway, thank you, Dr. Morrison.
thank you, Trustee Greenhill. And thank you, Ms. Alanis, for that. And please, I hope I'm never without a smartphone, but there still are people that don't have smartphones. And so we have to be concerned about them having the proper intelligence as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your comments. There are further discussion, comments? Okay, we'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Greenhill, thank you. Seconded by Mr. Hornsby. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Let's see, we'll go on to 5E, consideration approval of contract with Skanska USA Building, Inc. for buildings 1 and 2 of the redevelopment construction project on the Northwest Campus in the amount of $105,134,731.
Yeah, so as you know, staff has been hard at work with Skanska, our construction manager at risk with the Northwest Campus, and we've been bringing to you a series of contracts with guaranteed maximum prices as we've been ready to proceed with construction in phases. This will carry us through the construction of buildings 1 and 2, and in your workshop last month, you received an update on that as well.
Can you just remind us of how much in contracts we've issued for this project?
Yes, so there's I'm sorry, let me say this differently. It's about $20 million to date, and then this is an additional $105 million. There's a table on the second page that puts that in the context also of the design work. But for Skanska specifically, it's about $20 million to date.
And we're looking at a total of approximately?
So the Northwest Campus program is about $308 million. And so this gets us halfway there or so. We'll have buildings 3 and 4 that are under design right now that we'll be bringing back for review and consideration by this body. And we're developing a cost structure around that.
Great. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Morrison. Ms. Alanis, would you remind us again which buildings are 1 and 2?
So building 1 will eventually house the early college high school. Okay. It'll serve as swing space early on, and as well as a lot of our science labs. Building 2 is student onboarding, and it'll be the new front door to the campus.
Okay. Thank you.
Primarily, I should say.
Yeah. There's a lot more.
There's more to it than that, yes.
Than those two, but that's a summary.
Any other questions, discussion? Okay, we'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Okay, Mr. Kine.
Second.
Second by Mr. Barr. And all in favor? Say aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you. All right, let's go to 5F, consideration and approval of construction contract with Chambers Engineering for the Trinity River parking garage and the Trinity River campus east parking lot improvements in the amount of $1,211,696.
Yes, so there are some existing parking challenges at the Trinity River campus. Not only is there a need for additional parking spaces and better functionality over at the east campus, it's generally maxed out. There's also some challenges with this garage in terms of ingress and egress during peak hours. In addition, we were over allocated for staff parking spaces, under allocated for students, and so we needed to make some shifts about where the different gates and control mechanisms within the garage operate. So this is adding parking, but it's also improving the safety and functionality of the facilities as well.
Thank you. Any comments, discussion, questions? Okay, the chair will entertain a motion.
So moved.
So moved, Mr. Greenhill. Second, please.
Second.
Second by Mr. Hornsby. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. 5G, of consideration and approval of construction manager agreement, general conditions and exhibits with Byrne, Potere, I hope I pronounced that correctly, Hunt Joint Venture, Inc. for pre-construction services at Southeast Campus renovation expansion in the amount of $125,000. I believe you added some detail for that. If you could talk a little bit.
Yes, I'll be happy to walk you through that. So just like what we did with the Northwest campus, we've gone through a competitive solicitation for a construction manager at risk for the Southeast improvements. And we, with the intent to bring them on early for pre-construction services, which is what this contract provides, to work with the architects and help us start moving towards a guaranteed maximum price engagement with them under future contracts. What we've added to this is we included additional information about the joint venture that is proposed by the prevailing team. We've also included the table that we've been consistently providing in the other ones to show how this fits into the larger picture of the overall development of the campus.
Thank you. Any questions, discussions? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Move approval.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Barr.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Greenhill. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay. All right. Okay. 5H, consideration and approval of the amendment to the professional services agreement with Perkins and Will, Inc. for additional design services on the Southeast Campus renovation and expansion project in the amount of $5,863,765, not to exceed.
So this completes the design engagement with Perkins and Will for the Southeast Campus redevelopment and expansion. And this also has a table at the back to give you a sense of the contracts that had been issued previously, but this will take us through the end of design. They're in design development as we speak.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion unless anyone has any questions, comments, discussion. Okay.
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Kine. Okay.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Greenhill. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Ms. Ayala, 5I, we will withdraw from consideration this evening.
Okay. 5I. Thank you. Okay, that takes us to the monthly financial reports. Ms. Alanis, you're up.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
So continue to be on track with income, and in particular, property tax collections are exceeding where we were this time last year by about $10 million. That's offset by about $5 million less in credit tuition that we received, but on track overall with the revenue picture. In addition, we're less than 75%, which is where we are in the fiscal year in terms of our expenses, with a variety of savings that you can imagine with the campuses closed down this year. So continue to be on track.
Any questions, comments? Okay, go ahead.
All right, and then these are the highlights of your investment portfolio. Last week, you received a briefing from our financial advisor on revising the investment policy with the intent to improve the investment returns on our portfolio, because we've got the ability at this point to extend the duration of some of our investments rather than being as conservative as we've been in the past. So hopefully you'll have a chance to take a look at that and provide any feedback before you adopt that policy at your August board meeting. But no surprises here in terms of the performance of the investments at this point. Okay.
Any questions, comments? Okay, thank you. Ms. Hollins.
Thank you, Ms. Ayala. A few items. 7A, there was no authority exercise this month that you had given me related to the pandemic, but that ongoing report is in your packet in 7A. A number of accolades that you have in your packet in the back in 7B, and I want to call a couple things out. They're not all there. but a couple significant things. The Mansfield Early College High School had its very first graduating class, and there were 53 graduates out of that class. All 100% that started, finished, and received their high school diplomas, which is real significant. 45 out of the 53 also received an associate degree, and that's the first graduating class there. At the Arlington Early College High School, 96 graduates, 90 of those completed their associate degree. And that's just a snapshot. We have 11, 12 of these early college high schools throughout the district, but I just want to highlight those this evening. So we're very, very happy with that. At your placement is a magazine called Lens. And this is the first publication of a quarterly production that we're going to issue, focusing on workforce and economic development issues from Shannon Bryant and the Economic Corporate Services Economic Development Division, if you will. And there are a number of interesting articles and reads in here. The intended audience is large. They're chambers, they're site selectors, they're businesses primarily related to learning, development, training, and all the issues around that. And so this is the first publication of that. So take that and enjoy that. And I want to really appreciate the work that's been done there. This complements the monthly podcast Shannon does with various guests. And so this is both informative as well as marketing promotion. So we're very, very pleased with that. I do want to make reference in your packet, you do have your calendar for the upcoming year. I just want to call reference to October, where we normally meet the second and third Tuesdays. October will be the third and fourth Tuesdays. On that second Thursday is the middle of the Association of Community College Trustees Conference, and a number of you have expressed interest in going there. So we want to be proactive. So if you have this quote set, the second Tuesday or the second Thursday and third Thursday in your calendar, that there's an adjustment there. And so we will continue to remind you of that. I also want to note of a tentative budget work session that we will try to do the week of August 2nd through the 6th. We do receive our tax rolls July 25th. Hopefully we can turn around quick enough an informative meeting that week for your consideration as it relates to budget. And we'll do certainly a budget presentation at the work session in August, and then ask you to act upon that budget in the August meeting as well. The last item I want to share, the League of Innovation in Community Colleges, whose mission is really to cultivate innovation in the community college, and has been around for 40 some years, announced the launch of a new online course sharing consortium. We are one of 5 colleges in the country that is in that consortium. And so what this does, it gives a lot of visibility and opportunity for our programs and services through TCC Connect to be taken throughout the country. So we're in like a co-op, if you will. And so we're very pleased to join that with 4 other colleges in the country. So with that, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. But what is the expected number of potential folks that we could reach with this? Do you know?
And I wouldn't know. I mean, it's the launch, and it's intended to be nationwide. Okay. And so the League is a League of Community College, League of Innovation and Community College is an organization that's been around at least 40 years or so. And primarily it was a membership organization, and it really focused on innovation, and they still do, and really provide a lot of programming and services for the community college sector. So what this does now is that the League will actually be a broker in a lot of ways for this, and give visibility to our course offerings. And the only other thing I wanted to mention is we do not have a July board meeting. You don't all have to cheer at once. But I do want to thank certainly the staff. There's a lot of work, as you know, goes into this production. Sorry for the cramped quarters here, but this was a turnaround in a matter of 6 hours today. So there's a lot of technology that goes by in the background. There's a lot, obviously, that goes into this book, and I want to take time certainly to thank the staff for all their efforts each month, and enjoy your month off.
Yes, great. Thank you, and thank you, yes, for making this happen in such a short amount of time. We appreciate that. Okay, we're going to have a closed session, so let me read this here.
Madam President, may I have a comment before we go to closed session? Because I'd like for the audience to hear this. First of all, I forgot to share that there's a news article in the Dallas Morning News. It's under dallasnews.com about our Visions program, which is the title is Take Me or Save Me, a Tarrant County College graduate's journey from homelessness to degree. Some of you have heard me talk about that program before, and I want to share that with you. And also related to two things. Number one, the grant that we approved to work with the Department of Ed on, I agree to support that. I'm not putting the child care accessible issue to rest. And I'm looking forward to working with our most talented and genius staff to work on that with the Chancellor very judiciously to better address affordable, accessible child care for more students. And finally, in terms of the breakdown of these partnerships that we're getting, I would like to understand, and I'm putting that burden on me, but staff, you have to help me understand the breakdown of how those partnerships work. In other words, the percentage, not only the percentages, but the work that goes into it, because we want those people to be involved in capacity building for the community. So all of this 827 plus million that we're spending should be transformational to our community, which means that when we dot all the I's, cross all the T's, that there are people who are left empowered in the community that have new skills, new jobs, new businesses where they can perform this work. And it is my take on my responsibility to monitor the spending and make sure that that's happening. As we successfully complete the programs that we engage in, we need to be doing transformational work in terms of the citizenry and the workforce and all of those other aspects that all of you know about and deal with every day. That being said, I want to thank you, Chancellor, and your staff, because I know that even though you're saying the board will be off this next month, you will not be off. And of course, you already know that we're already dedicated to being available to anything we need to consider. So don't use our time off as an excuse not to bring an issue or problem with us or to work on some of the things that we think are very important. And finally, I don't know where you all are, but a long time ago on this board, we would always ask, where are these people from? Do they have offices in Fort Worth, Tarrant County? How many people from Fort Worth, Tarrant County are they going to hire? And all of those kind of colloquial questions. So this board is probably more sophisticated than we used to be. We don't ask those questions. That does not mean that we're not interested in investing the dollars that we spend back into our community. So I need everybody who's contracting with TCC and who's earning TCC dollars to understand that, and to understand that we need to be building our community, our people, our neighborhoods. We don't mind sending some money across the world, some of it, but we want to be building our community. And I know that I speak for a lot of citizens who believe that, and probably some other board members who believe that, and there might just not be a good time to come out and say stuff like that. But thank you for allowing me the privilege of saying that. And I want you all to know, I don't just say things to sound good. I say things because they are vital importance to the future of this college and to us continuing to fulfill our mission in the community. So thank you all for helping us do that. It's much your job as it is ours. In fact, we've given the reins to the Chancellor, and he's given the reins to each of you to help him do the job that we were elected to do. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Morrison, and thank you for advocating continuously for your community and for the students of our college. We appreciate that. We're going to go ahead and enter into a closed session. The TCCD board will conduct a closed meeting as authorized by Section 551 of the Texas Government Code in order to seek the advice of its attorneys, deliberate the real property matters, deliberate personnel matters, or to deliberate security devices or security audits. All right. The board will now reconvene in open session, and the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Mr. Kine and Dr. Morrison, will you second that?
I will second.
Okay, and seconded by Dr. Morrison. All right. Everyone have a good evening. Thank you so much and enjoy July. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.